Thank you for tuning in and welcome to the second Frostgrave review. Today we are taking a look at the Thaw of the Lich Lord, first published in 2015. So, by all stretches, not a new book.
Really not.
And we've had this since release.
Yes.
But now we have two.
And now we want to do a review, and we want to do that because
we haven't found any reviews out on YouTube that actually tells you what you need to play the book. And we thought that could be really useful for some people.
Yes, and we are planning to do this with all the releases, all the expansions, because now we have two of them.
Yeah. And thanks to Chen from Asmodee Games for sending us the second set of books.
We should also say we have pre-ordered Wizard's Conclave.
Yeah, we have, but only one.
Only one. Only one. Yes. So
this is a campaign book, meaning it has linked scenarios, unlike the core book that we reviewed. And I believe we'll pop a link to the first review.
Yes, of course.
So up there.
Yes.
And first of all, we will go through the scenarios.
Yes.
And there are 10 in total, if I recall. And they have some very specific requirements, some of them.
They do. One thing I really need to say about this expansion is that it's really well written. There's a lot of fluff for each scenario, and it looks like a fully fledged story you're playing through.
Yeah, definitely, and it gives some depth to Felstad and the whole story about that.
Yes, it also gives a lot of love to all the necromancer undead part of the game. Definitely.
This is the necromancer source book.
Yes. So, let's start with
the scenarios.
Scenario 1 is called Total Eclipse, and if you have seen our first review, that is what you need. You set up as a regular table of Frostgrave.
It's a completely regular game,
yes,
except for some special rules.
There are some special rules, but it does not affect what you need to play the game.
No.
So it is, the game is situated during
the eclipse.
So
and the awakening of the Lich Lord.
Yeah. So loss of sight.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. But nothing special about this scenario when it comes to
the next one, though.
Yes.
Battle on the River.
Battle on the River is one of the scenarios that require the most specific terrain in this book. First of all, you need a river, and the first 6 inches of two opposite sides have to be land or represent land.
We're assuming that you're playing this 2-player mode. We actually played through it 3-player mode, and it worked very well too.
Yes, it really did. And but we multiplied all foes by
about 50%.
So you need a river. You need a few small ruins. You need ruined ships. Yes.
Who has that?
One large ship and a mage servant.
Yeah.
Preferably elementalist.
Yeah, but you could just use one of your many death cultists that you will need for other stuff here.
Yeah. So he is not the problem. The problem is all the ships. Yes. And we have played through this without a river and without the ships.
We just placed some ruins saying it was a lighthouse in the river, and marked the river with ruins on the banks.
And just used a regular mat for it.
Yeah.
Yes. So you can you can definitely get around this.
Definitely.
Yeah. It has no effect on the game itself.
Especially because it's scenario 2. It's not the final battle. It's just scenario 2, and it seems a bit much to go through getting a whole setup with a river and ruined ships and stuff like that for just one scenario.
I've seen people do it, and it looks awesome. But really, well. All right. On to scenario 3.
Much less requirements there.
Loot the card. So you need a broken down wagon. And you need 4 death cultists. Who is, well, just sitting in the middle of the table waiting for reinforcements. And the reinforcements are 4 ghouls.
So 4 cultists and 4 ghouls. And you might as well paint up those because you will need them a lot going through this book.
Yeah.
Luckily, if you buy the cultist box, there are parts to make ghouls out of cultists too. So you can... The cultist box from North Star goes a long way filling out this.
Definitely. Then, the Storm of the Undeath.
Yeah.
And the thing about this scenario is that you need to have a 1 inch... No, not 1 foot square in the middle. 1 times 1. And to mark this, you need 4 pillars or pylons.
Yeah.
And they do have an effect in the game, so that is recommended.
But you could use statues or whatever you have.
Just something to mark it.
Yes.
So you also need 6 armored skeletons.
Mm-hmm.
And if, the pillars mark where there can be some electric magical current going. Yes. Yeah. And if your warband members are hit by this, then they can become revenants, if I remember correctly.
But you can just use the same model for them.
I would definitely recommend that, because you can't foresee who will become revenants.
No, so just use the same model saying now he's a revenant.
Yeah. Also, now one of the Rangifer.
Yeah.
So what is a Rangifer?
Rangifer is basically a beastman with antlers.
Yes, that's pretty much it. And in the Frostgrave lore, they are anti-necromancy.
Anti-undead. And
yes.
They roam the city of Felstad. For reasons.
And the Lich Lord is kind of worried about these, so, he, in this scenario, he goes after them.
Sending a Wraith Knight, if I recall.
He sends a Wraith Knight, and you need also 6 Rangifers.
And sadly, these comes in a package of 2, and I haven't seen anyone else other than Northstar making Rangifer models.
They really should, because it's a great idea for Beastman.
Yeah, would be a great plastic kit. Please, 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 Nick Iyer, if you're watching this, give us a box with 20 Rangifers.
I'm pretty sure you're not the first Frostgrave asking for this, and I don't think they will ever make it.
But one can hope.
One can only hope.
But you will need 6, and they only come in 2 different poses.
Yeah. Yes.
But you can of course use regular Beastmen.
Use Beastmen. Yes, I think we did that.
Yeah, we did.
Okay, the House of Long Reach. Now, this is, specific. First of all, you need 2 separate tables. One has to be 3 times 3, and the other one 1 time...
1 by 1.
1 by 1? 1 by 1? That's what it's called? English.
Foot.
Words. Then you need 7 doorways. 6 for the big table and 1 for the side table.
So if you're a Hero Quest player, this is where your doors come handy.
Yes.
Because the doors are just standing there being
and
teleporters.
they can stand, they don't need a wall, they can stand in the middle of, thin air.
We had one at the end of a staircase and stuff like that.
Yes.
It's a really awesome scenario. But
it's a really great scenario. And the thing is, things happen when you go through them.
Yeah, they teleport
There's a
you.
table, so you can get out of the same one, you can get somewhere else on the main table, or you can get to the side table.
And you can get damaged.
And you can get damage, yeah, there is that. Then you need some scattered pieces of furniture. This is not necessary.
No, but
it's just for the
atmosphere.
The feeling, yeah. And that's for the side table. Then you need 2 frost wraiths, not wraiths, wraiths.
Yeah, we have our selection of ghosts, and we use
You've
them.
seen them before. Stuff like this. It's Reaper bones painted up.
We use them for all the different kinds of wraiths.
Yeah, all the ghostly figures.
Spectres, wraiths, banshees, stuff like that.
Yes. Then you need 4 death cultists. You already have these.
Yeah.
And a zombie troll.
And once again, Reaper Bones makes a great one.
Yeah. Is
No,
this...
it's just behind it.
There you go.
And also the one from North Star, the official Frostgrave zombie troll,
It's
is really pretty.
Yeah. Nice one. Alright. Going on to the lair of the Ghoul King. So,
My favorite scenario.
the thing about this, you need regular terrain, but there can be no second level.
Nope.
So, just walls, piles of stone, debris, well, you can have corner rooms, they just can't have a
Yeah. They can't have,
second level.
because you're underground.
You're underground, yeah. Then you need a throne. We actually have the official throne from...
We do?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
I
we
think
do.
the one we have is from the Dwarven set from Mantic.
Okay, we do not have... Well, that's... yeah. Alright. Then you need 4 trapdoors and 4 doors.
Again, Hero Quest players rejoice.
Yes.
And also Sealed Miniatures makes all that
Yes.
trapdoors and doors and stuff like that.
Yeah. Then you need the Ghoul King himself and more than 4 ghouls. And I can't tell you how many because that depends on how many you slay and how long
The game goes
is.
on.
Yeah.
So a bunch of ghouls.
A bunch of ghouls.
But
And if you don't have the ghouls, use skeletons or zombies
or
or
cultists.
cultists. Doesn't matter.
But yeah, you
As long as you agree on the stats.
want to have quite a few ghouls
Yeah.
for this.
And why is this your favorite scenario?
Because of the fat loot.
We will tell you about what loot is specific to this this campaign. Now for the Dark Cauldron. And
Another favorite of my
yeah,
the
that's
one we
because
played
you
through.
want the Dark Cauldron.
Yeah, I did. I was playing a witch when we played through it.
Yeah, and a witch.
With a lot of necromancy spells.
Yes. So, and for this scenario, you need a cauldron.
That can be looted. Yay!
Actually, in the scenario, it can be tipped over. Yeah. Then you need 5 death cultists and zombies.
Yeah,
An infinite number of zombies.
a possibly infinite number. They come out of the cauldron, if I recall.
I think you're right. Alright, and now on to another oddly specific scenario. The bone wheel.
Scenario 9. And for this you need a bone wheel.
It's described as a circle of or wheel 6 inches in diameter.
Yeah, and I've seen people make really pretty bone wheels on the Facebook group.
And we use
This one from
Pegasus.
Pegasus Hobbies.
Yes.
It fits the bill pretty well.
Yeah.
The
wheel has to be it will be turned slowly during the game, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
No?
something
Yes.
I don't remember.
All right.
But you need to have something to represent the wheel in the middle.
And then you need 2 banshees.
And once again, ghosts. You like picking up. I don't think people can see them at that distance.
Probably not. I have long hair. Well, yeah. Weaver bones. And that's it for game number 9.
Yeah.
And now on to the final battle, named the Final Battle.
Yeah. And here you will need a lot of miniatures.
A lot of miniatures, but not that much when it comes to terrain. You need a 3-foot long wall.
To block out the whole one side of the table.
We do have a lot of crumbled walls.
Yeah, so...
Yeah. Then you need 8 treasure tokens instead of the regular 6.
Mm-hmm.
And you need a Lich Lord. You need 2 Wraith Knights. You already have these.
Mm-hmm.
6 Death Cultists, a little more than seen in the other scenarios.
No, as many as seen in the cart.
Oh, right. And 12 armored skeletons. 12.
But it says in the book you can replace some of them with zombies.
Yeah. Use what you have. As long as you can distinct them from the cultists, then I think you'll be fine.
I don't even think we have... We have a lot of armored skeletons, but I don't think we have 12. I think we have 8 or 10.
Something like that. But we just use unarmored skeletons.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we have some of those as well. And that's the scenarios.
So... You need stuff, definitely, but a lot can be proxied. Of course, you can always go the full proxy route, but for us, at least, that's not really fun.
No. We like a pretty table.
We like a pretty table. But hopefully this gives you an idea of what you would need to play through the campaign.
Yes.
But there is more to this book than just the campaign.
There are new soldiers, there's a new bestiary, there are new treasure table, and there are new spells.
Yeah, for new soldiers, this book introduces the bard.
Yes.
None of us ever actually hired a bard, I think, but it's pretty funny. It gives a bonus to will to soldiers next to him. Then there is the crowmaster, a favorite of mine.
Yes. You need a loose crow for that.
Or chicken.
Yeah, use the chicken. Something that can fly and isn't that big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the crowmaster himself is pretty useless, but
he's a regular.
He's good for picking up and going away with the treasure.
Yeah.
Then there is the javelineer, a cheap shooter, because the game actually needed that.
Yeah.
He can't shoot as far as other people, only 10 inches. But he's only 25 gold crowns, so definitely good for starting warbands who wants a bit of shooting.
Yeah, and one thing I like about this expansion is that it's not just even more expensive and awesome
the only
soldier types.
Well, the bard is 100 gold crowns, and so is the crowmaster, but they're not. The javelineer is 25, and then there is the pack mule at only 20.
At only 20.
And he is awesome because he can carry items and give them to other warband members.
Yeah. And I know a lot of people use them as you used it.
Yeah, load him up with potions.
Yeah, especially explosive ones.
Yeah, I loaded him up with 2 explosive cocktails and a demon in a bottle.
Yeah.
But yeah, he can also be used to carry around healing potions or scrolls for your wizard or apprentice, handing them scrolls as they use them, and he's really useful.
Yes. It opens a new level to the game, I think. There's a lot of strategy that can be derived from him.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Then there are some new spells, and these some of them are
they're
3 new spells,
fluffy,
and 2 of them are fluffy but underwhelming.
Yes.
The Homunculus spell, which is a witch spell, is basically a way to save your life if you die, but at the cost of levels.
At the cost of levels, it's also at the cost of health in all your games.
Yeah. So
it's very Harry Potter flavor.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I learned it in our long campaign, but I never used it.
No. I don't think it's worth it. I will like to hear from players that have used this and liked it. But yeah.
Then there is Lichdom,
Ugh.
And Mother Nurgle doesn't like that at all.
No. There are no benefits. It's only fluffy. And I like the fluff part.
It is, there are benefits if you're extremely high level.
Yes, extremely.
Because your maximum health goes to 25 and you become immune to a couple of spells.
Yeah, you can raise it to 25. It doesn't go to 25.
No. You can suddenly... Yeah. But you will gain levels slower than other people. You can no longer have familiars. You can no longer transcend. And some of your spells become undead only. Like, you can suddenly only cast heal on undead creatures and stuff like that. It's
extremely restrictive.
Yeah, but funny. But
fluffy.
Yeah, and definitely not as powerful as it sounds when you first read it.
And it's very hard to cast.
Yeah, definitely.
and very dangerous to cast. And,
yeah, if you fail casting it, you will lose levels and suffer injuries and stuff.
And then...
Remnant, the useful spell.
the one useful spell.
Allowing you to turn your dead warband members into remnants.
Yes, which is...
a great money saver.
Yeah, and undead versions of your regular.
And if you're playing a Lich...
Yes.
Then having undead members is nice because your healing spells and stuff like that will work on them.
But it's also nice if you're not playing a Lich, which you're not. Yeah. Then you can save that knight that went...
Yeah, and especially if he was carrying magic items and stuff like that.
Yes. So this is kind of a higher level add-on to the game.
Yeah.
It's definitely useful if you're playing with these.
But if you play through the core book and then play through Thaw the Lich Lord, you will likely be extremely high level.
You're getting there, depending on how many times you...
I was level 60 something when we finished Thaw. But we played through all the scenarios in the core book, then the golem, and...
Yes. And we will review the hunt for the golem. The thing is, now it is in the folio, which contains later expansions as well. So I think the next expansion we will review is
the folio.
The folio, which contains.
This probably made no sense if you don't know the books.
Probably not. Okay.
Then there is a bunch of new treasure. Should we go through?
I think we should. Well, if you were me, if I were you, this would be something I would like to know, because I get extremely disappointed when a new expansion contains no new exclusive treasure. And Thaw of the Lich Lord does. And if you get, let's say, 4 treasure chests, one of them can give you a roll on the new treasure table. Only one.
Also, there are treasures you can only get by picking up the treasure during a scenario.
Like the cauldron.
And the Amulet of the Ghoul King.
Yes. So, the Amulet of the Ghoul King is a very useful item.
Yeah. Especially when you take item limits into consideration, because this has multiple uses.
Yeah, it is more into one. It gives the wearer a +1 to all will rolls. Furthermore, it grants a +2 to the casting roll when casting control undead on a ghoul, which you rarely do.
Which you might do during these scenarios.
Yeah. And finally, if the wearer successfully casts a raise zombie spell out of game, then a ghoul may be added to his warband in place of a zombie.
Pretty powerful.
Yes. So this is an extremely useful item.
Yeah, so when you play through, try to get the amulet. Even if you don't have control undead, then for the raised zombie effect is worth it.
Definitely.
And vice versa, I'd say.
Book of Bones
allows you to get skeletons instead of zombies, and you can pay gold to get armored skeletons, which you would rarely do, I think.
I don't think so.
But you can.
Then there's a Book of the Rangifer,
allowing you to recruit a Rangifer, but he will leave if you have any undead guys in your warband.
If you have anything to do with necromancy, he doesn't like.
No, not actually. You can control undeads during the game, but before and after the game, your warband must be undead free.
Okay. So you can have raised zombie.
Yeah, you can just not cast it out of game.
Boots of Leaping, they are exactly that.
Yeah. Club of Battering, which makes me think Munchkin.
It gives the wielder +1 fight in hand-to-hand combat. In addition, should the wielder win a fight, he may choose to push his opponent back 3 inches instead of the usual 1.
Which can be really useful when you're up high.
Yeah. Whee! Crystal Rose. Last one was very excited about this one.
Yes.
Blah 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 blah. A figure that is carrying a Crystal Rose may re-roll his survival roll after a game, but the second roll must stand. And the Crystal Rose is destroyed. Undead, constructs and demons may not use a Crystal Rose.
Then there is the Dark Cauldron, which is not to be confused with the Giant Cauldron from the core rulebook.
Yes.
Because this one gives you +1 to all create zombie, raise zombie as it were, but it says create zombie, and revenant spells.
Cast out of game.
Cast out of game, yeah. It can never be purchased, but may be sold. And it is a base upgrade, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And a unique one at that.
Yes. Eyes of a Motor.
These are great. These are 2 amulets, one worn by your spellcaster and the other by any one member of your warband.
Yes.
And basically it's a wizard's eye.
Yeah. You can cast
a spell
through this
if I'm
dual amulet.
Mm-hmm.
Is it 1 per game?
Yeah, once per game.
Yes, 1 per game. There it is.
But that means that your treasure hunter or thief can run up and suddenly shoot an elemental bolt at an unsuspecting foe.
If 1 amulet is lost, the other becomes useful.
Useless.
Yeah. And I think we actually had the discussion, what if you lose 1 but have 2 more?
They only link to the ones they were found with.
Yes. Fireharp Gemstone.
I don't remember this one.
If a gemstone is carried by a spellcaster, he may transfer up to the gemstone up to 3 points of damage he suffers from an attack, and must declare that he is doing so as soon as the damage is taken. The spellcaster may use the gemstone as many times as he wishes during a game, but must keep track of the total damage transferred.
I got that when we played. It was from the House of Long Reach. It's not on the regular table.
If at any point 5 or more points of damage are transferred to the gemstone in a single game, the gem is destroyed.
Yeah. So
but it can save you.
It can really save you.
When you're down to 1 health and you take, let's say, 15 damage, then, well, you can just destroy it and keep on going.
Yeah.
Grimoire of the Humunculus is exactly that, a Grimoire
of Lichdom, Grimoire of Revenant.
Yes.
Grimoires for these new spells.
Yes. Horn of Hellfire. Once per game, the bearer may use an action to blow the horn and make a +5 magic shooting attack against 1 target in line of sight and within 24 inches.
Yeah.
I can't really see why this is a horn, and I can't see the link between a horn and a shooting attack, but it's kind of interesting.
It's a blowpipe of hellfire.
Yeah.
Ivory Scroll is a scroll with a spell on it.
Yes.
That might be used multiple times if I'm not mistaken. Once per game, and after the game you roll a die, and there is a chance it cracks and it's destroyed.
Yeah, and when it is found, roll randomly to see what spell it holds. That's an important part. Then there are the magic spectacles. Spectacles. You can see things that are otherwise invisible. That's pretty much it. Quiver of the Soul Seeker.
Yeah.
This is a magic quiver that imbues any arrows it holds with the power to strike down ethereal, undead, and other restless spirits.
Which is really useful because a magic bow is not usually a magic attack.
Yes. And that's what it does. Yes. Bow and crossbow.
Yeah.
Yes. Ring of Life.
+1 fight and armor, but only when you fight undead.
Yes.
And your attacks are suddenly considered magic.
Yeah.
So you can hit those pesky ethereals.
Very, very useful if you get this after game 1 in this campaign. And less useful if you get it after
No,
game
still,
10.
if you go back to playing the core rulebook after this,
There are a
allows
lot
you
of
to...
undeads.
There are a lot of ethereal undeads around.
Yes.
Scarf
of Obscurance. Yes. This long scarf, which can be found in various of colors, makes the wearer less distinct when viewed from a distance, and thus harder to target. The wearer received +1 to his fight roll when rolling against any form of shooting attack.
Yes. Then there is the Sword of Undead Slaying. Classic magic item. This is a +3 sword, but only when it fights undead. It still counts as a magic weapon, though, even when fighting other stuff. The Unbreakable Orb.
Can you remember what that does?
No, but there's a wall of text here.
The shield. There's something about a shield. Activating the can only... Once per game, a figure may activate the Unbreakable Orb, which surrounds the figure in an invisible, impenetrable shield. Activating the orb can only be done during the bearer's activation, but does not require the expenditure of an action. The shield lasts until the figure's next activation, and while it lasts, the figure may not move, attack, shoot, force combat, cast spells, or draw line of sight to anything. It can pick up a treasure if it's already in base contact with it. At the same time, no other figure may move into combat with the figure, nor target it with any kind of shooting attack or spell. Yeah.
Yeah. Useful item.
It is a useful item. You just have to get, to see the potential. It's situational, but there's tactic to be drawn from this.
Then there is the Vampiric Blade.
Yes.
Which is a magic sword with no bonus to fight nor damage. But whenever you do damage with it, you drain 2 points of health to yourself.
But only if you target living opponents.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is the Vampiric Blade of all computer games you have ever played.
Yeah, pretty much. The Vial of Starlight.
The vial can be used to empower spells from the Thaumaturge school. It has 10 points of power that can be used at different times, but once they are all used, the vial becomes worthless. Contrary to the normal rules for empowering spells, the Vial of Starlight can be used to empower Thaumaturge spells out of game.
Which is really powerful.
Yes.
The Wraith bottle is basically a demon in a bottle, but with a Wraith in it.
That's it. I think that's it. Yes.
Yes, that's it. So a lot of magic items.
Yeah. And of course that's probably one of the reasons why I really like this campaign. It gives a lot of flavor, and we played it as... Well, we played the campaigns as they were released.
Yeah, we haven't actually played through all the released campaigns though.
No. Our wizards became so powerful that it wasn't really that fun anymore.
Yeah.
But one thing I like is if you play this and play another campaign after that you can take these rare items
and bring them forward into the campaign.
Yes. Then there's a new bestiary, because there's a new bestiary.
Yeah. And as with the core rulebook, there is a random encounter table if you choose to play with random encounters.
Yes.
And you should. It's fun. But it requires models.
It
so
really
what
does.
models does it require? Yeah, you want to have at least 2 skeletons. But as we already been through, you want to have skeletons.
Yeah.
You want to have at least 4 death cultists. Again, if you buy a box of cultists, make 10 cultists and you should be good for the entire campaign. Armored skeletons, you can meet up to 3 of those in one encounter here. Up to 2 ghouls. Up to 3 ghouls, even. Up to 3 zombies. You can meet a Frostgrave, a wraith.
But they're already in the scenario, so...
Yeah,
Yeah.
some of them are. Up to 3 Rangophers.
Yes.
So you want to have... Oh, it still annoys me that they come in a pack of 2.
And you need 3.
You need-
Really?
And 6 for the
Yes.
scenario.
4? Oh, well,
Not 6.
okay.
Frostgrave, we have that. Spectre, another ghost.
And a bear, but you need that for the...
Core book, you
Core-
need bear, boa, ice spider, white gorilla is in here still. Up to 2 rats. Actually,
Snow leopard.
snow leopard is there. Frost wraith.
Snow troll.
Frost wraith. Up to 2 frost wraith, I just realized.
Oh, yes.
And up to 2 snow trolls. You won't need a major demon, but the imp and the minor demon is still in here.
Yes.
The banshee is here. The small, medium, and large constructs. The werewolf. The zombie troll. The worm has a single slot too.
The wolf.
The wolf, yeah, just the one wolf though.
Yeah.
And a wraith knight. And then the funny things, because you might encounter the ghoul king and 4 ghouls during this.
Yes, the Ghoul King himself.
And
Right.
if you roll 19 or 20 and then a 20, the Lich Lord and a retinue will appear.
Yes. And then you're screwed. So, when we played through this, we were complaining that, random encounters wasn't really happening. It was a bit boring. We wanted to... Well, then we had a scenario. It was the one of the
lair
Rangofer?
of the lair of the Ghoul King, where the Ghoul King appeared.
No, we had one just before that.
Oh.
Where we had 2 sets of Ghoul Kings.
Yeah, oh, I thought it was in the lair of the Ghoul King.
No, we encountered one in that too. But we had 2 plus 2 snow trolls.
Yeah.
Yes, it was totally crazy. And some banshees.
yeah.
It was a 3-player, but still, it was...
It
wow.
became very PvE.
Yeah.
Anyway, when the Lich Lord arrives, he has a retinue of 2 Wraith Knights, 4 Armored Skeletons, 4 Death Cultists, and an additional Armored Skeleton that he raises.
Yes.
So yeah, quite the bestiary. But if you already have the bestiary from the core book, and if you already have the stuff needed for the scenarios...
I don't think you need a lot more than that, actually.
No.
So, do play with random encounters.
Yeah. And get that white gorilla, because it's in there every time.
Yeah. we just got our
White
gorilla after 2 years or something like that.
So yeah, that is the book. There is quite a few new monsters in here. And
this is definitely one of the better expansions, supplements for Frostgrave.
to be fair, we haven't played through other long campaigns.
That is true.
But we had a lot of fun with this one.
Yes, it's actually really awesome. A lot of fun.
And
Highly recommend
a lot of you have probably played through it too, so let us know below what you found especially funny about this campaign, or what you didn't like about it.
And if you chose to become a lich,
Yeah, we would love to hear about that.
why and how and
And why.
yeah, and I want to, if you did it, kudos. Style before purpose. I like that.
But yeah, that's it. We will be back with another review at some point in time. And till next time, take care and bye bye.